Crypto kids, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the price of Bitcoin and discuss where we can see the price head towards next. And we need to go through a lot of the news updates once more. At this point we just have a breaking news based off of the ETFs like every single hour, and look at that. Justin, my Uber driver, said that he heard from his uncle's best friend that the Bitcoin spot ETFs may get denied. And no guys, this is not real, of course, and the point that I'm trying to make is that we're getting a lot of fake news. And this we need to be very careful of. We had the Matrix report, which people are now thinking BlackRock is a funder in the company itself, and they asked them to make this report so that they could buy Bitcoin cheaper. Of course, this is ridiculous, and that's not the fact. I did go into Matrix report and found out that they have $138 million in funding, which I found interesting. But we just have a lot to get through in today's video, including the Bitcoin charts. Of course, we have a trade currently in 114% profit. So massive congrats if you have been watching the channel for the past couple of weeks, because we've been setting buy limit orders on Bitcoin many times, and right now we have an entry on Bitcoin at $40,570, currently trading at $43,667. So massive congrats. But ladies and gents, without further ado, I'm Crypto Kid, and let's jump in straight to the Bitcoin analysis. But ladies and gents, if you do want to be finding a place to trade cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin at, you can head over to the description below and sign up to Bitflex to get up to $88,888 worth in prizes and bonuses. The extra 20K is valid just until the end of this month, because if you sign up, you don't need to really do anything extra. If you hit these trading volume targets, you can get some pretty awesome bonuses. And if you are a high volume trader, you can get and benefit a lot from this actually, which is pretty cool. And of course, don't forget to check in and claim your flex points on a daily basis and then redeem them in the vouchers or flex shop when redemption is available. But going back into the breaking news, of course, this is not the breaking news. The reason why Bitcoin saw the dump towards the downside was not because of this Matrix report. Rather, it was due to the funding rates being at massive highs. And we discussed this in the live stream yesterday too. Now they're back to normal. We're even seeing negative funding rates over on OKX, meaning that long positions do not have to pay if they're opened up immediately, which is beautiful. They are getting back to normal. And that flash crash kind of just took out all of that, it took out all of the over leveraged positions. We saw a lot of money being put out of Bitcoin. This chart was actually super interesting over on Crypto Quant. We can see that basically close to $1 billion. So the cohort short-term spending was $1 billion. And what this means is that investors who bought between the ranges of 40 to 44.7K exited the market at break even before their losses increased. So as this candle was dropping towards the downside, I believe a lot of traders assumed that we would even fall back to the 37K. And once this was happening, like at GMT plus 4 p.m. yesterday, no one really knew why this dump was taking place. And I think everyone just kind of freaked out a little bit and decided to take some profits. But investors who bought between the 26 to 42K range, so more of the hodlers, not hodlers I would say, but people that have been DCing into Bitcoin over the past couple of months, they took some realized profits considering the volatility of the market, considering what we expected could happen coming up towards the ETF approvals, that the market could have some of the most volatile times ever. We discussed this a couple of videos back, and looking at the 3M to 6M cohort, there wasn't much of a difference, and that's beautiful. Look, volatility was expected. If we see the Bitcoin spot ETFs get approved, which will be the final deadline, is between the 8th to the 10th of January. This is where we should stick to, ignore and block out the noise. Whatever we hear between the 8th to the 10th of January, that is most likely going to be the most accurate decisions that we get. And if you are looking to follow someone who is, or two people that actually know about what they're talking and will give you the correct information, I would definitely recommend checking out James Safart over on Twitter, and of course Eric Balkanus. They're both very experienced Bloomberg analysts, and they're not going to give you false information. So looking at some more breaking news, we saw Craig Salm, who is the chief legal officer at Grayscale, saying that just filling out some forms, this is pretty funny, filling out what, McDonald's form. We're seeing a lot of hype about the ETFs, and people are saying, is it priced in? Is it not priced in? In my personal opinion, I think it is pretty much priced in, and that's okay, because even if Bitcoin does see a fall towards the downside to $38,000, that is absolutely fine. It's just going to get rid of all of these, short-term traders, and we'll be back to normal, and Bitcoin can skyrocket to all-time highs coming up towards the halving. And after the halving, of course, a year after the halving is the top of the bull market prediction over on the CryptoKid channel. This was the chart that we discussed about on yesterday's live stream, and I mentioned that it could be a good time to be opening a long position and ride it back to the $45,000 level. So again, massive congrats if you decided to jump into that trade, but you would have automatically opened a position if you had your limit orders over on Bitflex too. Look at that. Bitcoin is very, very strongly back into this ascending triangle. This is not a very common occurrence, but it does happen. We saw a shakeout both on the break towards the upside and towards the downside. We've shaked out all of the liquidations. We collected around $4.5 billion in liquidity, and now Bitcoin is ready to see another break. Now that we're back in this triangle, it is usually bullish. We could go back up to 47, 48K and then see the dump towards the downside again. That is very much possible. Bitcoin is still playing this scenario. We mentioned last week, actually 2 weeks ago, that Bitcoin can come up to the 44.6K area, collect the liquidations, and then see it drop towards the downside. Right now, Bitcoin is bouncing back up. So we may come back up to 47, 48K, then come down to 38K, but only time will tell. All I'm doing right now is keeping my long position open. If we see more confirmation of a break further towards the upside, I will put more margin into this trade, but the stop loss is currently over break even. So even if Bitcoin decides to reverse back down, this trade will close in profits, and I have another order, 0.2 Bitcoin worth at around $38,000, if you are wondering where I'm planning on buying Bitcoin next, and that you can also set over on Bitflex by signing up to this link in the description below. But that pretty much sums up what we want to discuss about today. The Fed minutes was released yesterday, and it showed that officials were feeling better about inflation. And it looks like in March, we have a 62% chance that the interest rates are going to be reduced towards the downside. That is, of course, bullish for the market. That is not bad for the market at all. However, whenever we see a strong pivoting in the interest rates, we see the stock market fall drastically towards the downside. Historically speaking, we have a bearish stochastic crossover. And look at that. Bitcoin, the S&P 500 top perfectly on this candle. And we've been talking about this for ages. MRI top, extension C, and a reversal candle. It doesn't look too shabby whatsoever. We've talked about all of our predictions for the Bitcoin bull market in the stream last night, so I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but that is pretty much the summary of what I think can happen to Bitcoin. We're breaking out of this pennant once again. So look, 47K is a very, very strong possibility. Even though that, we kind of shook out everyone, I think we may head back up to 47K. I'm not going to put a take profit on this position for now. I just want to see what happens to Bitcoin. We may even ride to 48K from this level. So it's good to just see what happens. I'm going to let Bitcoin do its thing. But another major reason why Bitcoin dumped yesterday was due to the 2024 IRS tax reporting rule that any transaction above $10,000 has to get reported to the IRS. So yes, we did have a combination of fundamental analysis and technical analysis, but I do believe it relied more on the technical analysis side. Michael Saylor, by the way, is not selling Bitcoin. He's selling his shares in MicroStrategy, which is not the same thing. I just wanted to point that out because people were getting it mistaked on Twitter. Ladies and gents, Inverse Kramer is working like a charm. Bitcoin is now crossing $44,000. It looks like that things are getting finalized. In 4 days, we may see the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and next week we may even see Bitcoin trading over on the Nasdaq, etc., with its spot ETFs, of course. And we've also seen the postponed delay of the BlackRock purchase, the seeding, the $10 million seeding until the January 5th. So tomorrow they should be putting $10 million publicly into Bitcoin. That would be beautiful too. But that sums up our analysis for today's video. This trade currently up very nicely now in 124% profits. Massive congrats, crypto kids. But I will see you all in the next video, guys. I am once again late for another lesson. I have math tutoring. I will see you all in the next video very soon. Make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.